Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, your average fan, and I'll be talking to you today about Apple TV show Foundation. It's just so much in my brain with this show. I'm going to be doing episodes 6 and 7, and we're going to get right into it. Spoilers! So, wow, a lot actually happened in between these two episodes. And I was like, some stuff I just simply could not believe. I'm going to be all over the place. I'm not going in any chronological order, but these are the things that occurred. So, Brother Day, I thought he was going out to the outer rim. No, he was going to visit the religious people that got a problem with them with calling them soulless. So, when he get there, it's one of the leaders there to greet him, the one that don't like him. And she talking about they don't need fanfare and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, oh, okay. But really, it's like a political power struggle on who's going to be the leader. And this lady went hard on him, did not care, embarrassed the little synthetic lady. She embarrassed herself. And she was like, well, if it was against my protocols, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Bow down and all that kind of stuff. But clearly it wasn't against the protocol. So there you go. You got to deal with it. So now he done came up with some plan to go ahead and walk this maze, this spiral that they got. That's like the equivalent of the Islamic religion's trip to Mecca. That's what it would equate to. Long, strenuous, which you're supposed to be fulfilled and somewhat more enlightened by the end of it and all that good stuff. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it because if I shouldn't be able to do it if I'm so soulless, ain't nothing to get better, you know. If she called him out in front of everybody, man, that lady was hard. I've seen her and other stuff. I don't know her name, but yeah, I like her as an actress anyway. So when I seen her, I was like, oh, okay. And then she proved me right. I was like, okay, yeah, she got his ass right together, real talk. So while he dealing with that, Dusk is busy trying to figure out what's going on with Don for some reason. He got all these traditions he needs to do, and he got to do this and do that. Meanwhile, this boy is actually trying to be with the garden lady. He obsessed with her for some whatever reason. So Dust take him out hunting and everything else. He killed more birds than Dust, but he can't let that be known. So then he go ahead and hide it. For some reason, the spy dude that worked for them found the birds. I guess Dust went out and told him to go do that or something. I don't know. But I also didn't know that the dude had camouflage. That was like weird. He turned literally invisible, like the Predator or some shit. It was crazy. So there's that. He's still Dusk. No, Dawn is stupid names. Dawn is still trying to be with the garden lady, and Dustin took him to the horror house place where they get the ladies and they get their memories wiped before they leave the planet, so they don't know nothing about what they did with the empires. It's really ridiculous. How about the first set it up? Are you serious? Really? So, yeah, this empire has got to make changes. And for what it seems, it looks like Don is the change, but now this girl got him thinking about, because he confessed to her after they had sex, of course. Now he's sprung. That yeah, he's different from the rest of the Cleons. He do things in different ways, and he's stuck trying to do things the right way because he don't want to get killed. And then they just release another him to replace him, and all of that. And she convincing him to come down to the sky where it's open and everybody is crowded, and you'll mix in, won't nobody notice you. You can get rid of the nanites in your blood. You can get your face changed. You'll be fine. Just come down here with, what I'm saying, and be free, and you ain't got to worry about them, and let them release their nucleon and let them do whatever. I don't trust this lady not one bit. When she started trying to convince him to come down in the scar, oh, no, not leave the planet. Now let's go somewhere else. Come down in the scar? Why? Why y'all won't? No. Why y'all want one of them down there? You know what you're doing, lady. No, I don't like it. I don't even like the way she was looking on her train ride home when he was spying on her with his little dragonfly drone that he be flying around. Yeah. And then when he took Dusk, I mean when Dusk took Don to the horror house, toward the horror place and got the girl, and then the girl told him, you know, we whatever we do is private, and he wanted to talk, and then somehow she's in the shower, and here comes Dusk talking about something. What did he say? What was he talking about? What did he do? So he's spying on Don because it's like he thinks something off with him anyway. I don't know what that's gonna cause problem with, but it's clearly gonna be a problem. Meanwhile, Gail is on this ship that was supposed to be Raish was supposed to be the one on the ship. She was supposed to actually have gone to Terminus. How do we find this out? Oh, because this hologram of what I thought was a hologram. It kind of actually is, but I guess of Harry Seldon then popped up. He's now in control of the ship. He downloaded his consciousness into this computer, and this is how he's living on. He predicted all of this. He confessing all of this stuff to Gail because she's trying to figure it all out as to why he would have Raish kill him, you know. And it was all to separate them because he couldn't predict her. She was the unpredictable factor. And him being with it was just gonna be messed up, and he was dead set on his plan. So he sounded real effed up the way he was talking and arrogant, like she called him. And so I was like, yeah, she hit all the notes on that one, every last one. But there is something different and special about her. Somehow she can feel the future. This is what they figure out through him questioning her about why did she even come to his room that night anyway. She wasn't supposed to be there. He would have got away on the thing. She would have gone on to Terminus and did the foundation with the people and been there with them during this crisis, been able to predict it ahead of time, somehow feel it as she does, and then get them the heck out of there and deal with it. But she wasn't there. So now the girl that nobody in Foundation trusted is there, Sal, and she, you know what I'm saying, because don't nobody really like trust her feelings and her gut instincts on stuff, they're in the situation they in right now, which is what? Oh, this is what they're going through on Terminus. Well, the Arconians that completely took over the Foundation, started killing most of their people, you know, but there was some Foundation people that fought back, you know, and so they was determined to try to stop them any way they could. They still didn't know what their plan was, but then they go and get a list, a manifest of all the people that was on the ship that brought them there in the first place, because they need people for some reason to fix a ship called Invictus that apparently is a world destroying ship. So they want to take this world destroying ship, warship, back to the crown jewel of the empire and blow it up. Just destroy it. Bloom, 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 bloom. So they can feel how they people feel. Getting their planet just blew up without no means of escape. I was like, that's effed up. Real bad. Because innocent is innocent. And it was just like it was innocent people on your planet that had nothing to do with anything, or your people was completely innocent of the whole situation, and it was wrong for them to do that to y'all. You know, lady, you already missing the eye. You should get the eye for an eye thing. It ain't working. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't, what? No, let's not do this plan. So, because they want to get this Invictus ship, they got their troops getting ready to take off in their little ships so they can get the people and all go to the big ship to try to get on it, right? Yeah, no. So Sal and her man and her daddy decided to go and destroy their ships. And so they did, but I knew it when when her father started telling stories about stuff and everything. I'm like, yep, daddy's dying, daddy's dead, daddy's dead, do 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 do. That's what I say. And he died. He blew up the ships though, but he died. And that was the end of that. So I was like, okay, so now that's gonna be her motivation to move on. She tried to go hard, but it didn't work out. But then her boyfriend switched his ship over to her command to keep her alive. But then they all still had to go anyway with these people because they left part of their resources behind. We don't get what we want, kill them all. So there's that. It's messed up, like for real. So they get to the ship. They find it. Nobody believes this ship is there, but it's there. But the defense system is still active, so they gotta jump Star Trek style from the ship to this other ship and stay a certain distance apart so they don't get shot up, which they failed to do once they actually got to where they needed to get to on the outside of the ship. So of course the defenses came on, and once uh, the Empire general dude opened the door for them and did his part, they killed him. Her boyfriend went floating off into space somewhere, but I don't think he is dead. I don't believe that he is dead. I think he out there trying to help somewhere because he was familiar with the territory because of the mining that got shut down and everything else. So I think he figured out a way to save himself. He said his thrusters wasn't working. That might have been a part of his plan to try to play like he was escaping and try to sneak some other kind of way. I don't know. I just refuse to believe she done just lost everybody. So they get on the ship. It's all they restore the atmosphere, restore the gravity. People they brought them there before, and Sal is trying to convince them to try to fight back. You know, we gotta try to do something. You know, they done handcuffed her now because of course lady don't trust her because every time she get away, she do something to fuck they shit up. Real talk. So, you know, good plan. Put handcuffs on her. But then they decided to go ahead and try to fight back. Each person, each side lost somebody, so that wasn't great. And they still end up having to try to go forward with this thing anyway. Meanwhile, the ship itself is on a countdown. It's called a ghost ship because not because just nobody can't seem to find it. It disappeared like over 600 years ago, whatever it was. It was gone. That's because they jump drives, was on random rotation, and it's counted down and just kept jumping, jumping all over the place. So that's why nobody could ever find this derelict ship. Just so happens some Arcanians saw the ship when it happened to jump into this particular spot, and they was like, "Oh, we own it. Let's get that." And so that's why they're there. I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. So now they gotta try to get control of this ship before it jumps who knows where intergalactically, into a star. They don't know where the ship jumped into. Everybody on it is dead. They ran out of food a long time ago. They couldn't. They don't know what they could have possibly jumped into in the first place that effed them up. You know, yeah, we don't even know where this thing is going. We need control. It's a mess. It's a mess, and I'm loving every bit of it. Loving every bit of it. So now that plan is moving forward. I don't know what they doing as far as um, Gail and Harry on this other ship. I don't know what they're gonna do. You know, why are they at his home planet? You know, system. You know, what are they there for? She asked that question several times and never got an answer to that. Meanwhile, he pushing her to discover that she can feel the future. Okay, we shall see how well that works out for her. It saved her life right then in the moment too, because then a damn meteorite came through the window and she felt it and then she blocked it. And she was literally preparing for it without even knowing it. She had went and pulled this other thing off the wall where she was arguing with him, and I was like, what is she finna do with that? I didn't know what she was gonna do with it, but it was all for her to be prepared to be able to use it to block the meteorite coming through the freaking glass. Wow, I will say that was like an amazing moment, but at the same time, come on. So we'll see what comes about with that, and I will see you guys for the next episode shortly. In the meantime, have a great day.